Lent was approaching. Peter's parents asked him if he was going to give up anything for Lent. His parents said to Peter, "We will give up something for Lent if you give up candy. We will give up drinking." Now, Peter wasn't too happy about giving up candy, but he decided his parents drank too much. It would be worth to make that sacrifice. So he agreed. Now, 2 days later, on a Saturday evening, he was passing through the living room on his way to the kitchen. He noticed his parents had some friends over, and they were sitting there talking, laughing, drinking beer. Peter approached his dad and he said, "Dad, I thought you were going to give up drinking." His father, very flustered at being caught, stammered, "Oh, Peter, this is just beer. It doesn't count. I meant mixed drinks. Hard liquor, son, hard liquor." Peter thought about this, and so he said, "Okay, Dad." And then Peter went on into the kitchen. A few minutes later, Peter came out of the kitchen munching a Milky Way bar. His father said to Peter, "Peter, I thought you were going to give up candy for Lent." And Peter answered, "I am, Dad. I'm giving up hard candy. Hard candy." Are you giving up anything for Lent? The season of Lent begins with Ash Wednesday, March 5th. Leonard Sweet writes, "Lent is traditionally a time of fasting, prayer, reflection, and study, leading up to the solemn events of Passion Week when Jesus was crucified. Lent is usually associated with giving up something, making some small personal sacrifice in order to better understand the great sacrifice of our Savior, Jesus. Do you remember, maybe as a child or maybe even later than that, of giving up something for Lent? Remember what you gave up? You may have given up chocolate or sweets. You may have given up meat for Lent. Or you gave up watching too much TV or maybe going to the movies. Whatever you gave up for Lent, it was always with a strict understanding that as soon as the resurrection was successfully accomplished and Easter was joyously celebrated, you could then stuff your face with all the candies and honey-glazed ham, and you could zone out watching all the TV you wanted to watch. Very few of us who have given up anything for Lent because we simply postponed our usual activities, our usual indulgences for just a few short weeks. We didn't really give them up. We just postponed them for a while. After giving up something, were there any after effects? Were you really changed in the way you thought or the way you acted? Instead of giving up something for Lent, why not add something during Lent? We could decide to add 5 minutes to our Bible reading schedule. We could decide to make a written prayer list and include persons we know who suffer, who struggle, and not only pray for them, but find some meaningful ways to express to them God's love. We could decide to visit our neighbor who we know is struggling, not to preach to them and not to lecture them, but to simply spend time with them, be with them. What will you add? What will I add to my Christian living during Lent? What will we add which will draw each of us always closer to God?